Every blade of grass has the potential to become a skyscraper. All it needs is to be put under construction. Welcome back to yet another episode of Under Construction SA. I'm your host. My name is Thuso Motsomane. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please click on that subscription button. And as well, please click on that notification button that every time we drop an episode, you are notified. Please as well share it with your family, share it with people that will be interested in this educational content. As you know, here we're all about education, we're all about inspiration, and we're all about sharing stories of young people that are on come up from different industries and talking about someone who's really building their small businesses. Today we have Reabetswe from Pride Ornamentals. Reabetswe, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you, and thank you very much for having me here today. I'm really good. It's challenging, but I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm also doing good, man. It's a privilege and an honor to have you. So for people who don't know you, which is people who watch our YouTube, it's the first time getting to know you, the first time being introduced to you. Maybe tell us a little bit about your background and where you're from, and give us a picture of the kind of situation that you grew up in, and maybe your surname. Because I know the reason I didn't say your surname was like, yo, I don't want to butcher your surname.
I don't think you're the only one. I get asked quite a lot. But my name is Reabetswe. My surname is Makokwe. I am the property expert, which means I do everything property at this point. To this point, I've basically acquired all the qualifications that I need to be a property expert. And it has taken me quite a bit of learning to get here. It has taken me quite a lot of learning actually to get here. I think it's been a long journey, but I really, really appreciate the process because now I get to have the title of interior designer and real estate agent and, you know, property specialist, and I can do everything that I want to basically under one umbrella. I think background for me, I think it's very simple. I grew up like in a township in Klerksdorp, and there's not really much to it. I think it's like every other township. I think we all have the same stories. We kind of all ran around and played games all day and did all of those things, you know. But after a while, I think that's when we kind of moved to Joburg, and life was a little bit different. And at that time, I had only one passion, and my passion was basically doing economics. And so I did that. That's what I did through and through. I didn't think about anything else. I didn't think that anything else existed, to be quite honest. I just thought that the world was economics, and that's the only thing that I can and want to do, until I did it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I did it throughout varsity. I did my undergrad and my postgrad in economics and international trade. And I honestly loved it. It was exceptional. I did exceptionally well in it. So I can't fault it at all. I then worked after that, but then that's when I realized that I actually have other goals and desires, you know, outside of just being an economist, you know, or just knowing things about the economy, you know, or wanting to change anything in the economy, you know. That's how I found out that in actual fact, I kind of don't want to sit in an office. I kind of really want to do my own thing. There's a structure in my head that I have. There's this, you know, entire building that I have in my head that has all of these little rooms of fascination and things that I want to do and things that I want to explore. And I felt like I was boxed in most of the time that I was working. So it didn't take me a long time, to be quite honest. I think as soon as I started working at my 9 to 5, I think even before that, I just knew I was just over it. And I just made the decision that, you know what, I am going to start this entrepreneurial journey, not for anyone, but for me and for the little kid inside me that wants to explore all those rooms of fascination, you know. And that's exactly how I got here, and now I am here.
Wow, that's an amazing story, man. Since you've moved to Johannesburg, what do you miss the most about Klerksdorp?
I miss playing and being free and buying ice. I used to love buying ice, you know, those little ice, those orange ones and the cola ones. I used to love doing that. And I can't do that here. You know, I can't walk over to somebody's house and, you know, buy ice for like 50 cents. You know, I can't do that here. And I miss the freedom. I just miss being around people and just being free spirited, you know. Think that's the one thing I really, really miss.
Yeah, I guess it's the Kasi flavor. You know, there's just something about being
Yeah.
in a township or rural area that, like, you're around people, it's genuine, it's fun, it's nice. And I guess that's why from time to time, especially during December in South Africa, we go and revisit or we go home to visit. And I think maybe you should just go and visit if you don't even you're already not visit
No, trust
Plexo.
me, I go every chance I get. I am there.
Yeah. So what would you say? Because you started off by saying you're a property expert, everything property. What would you say drew you to that field?
Money. That's number one.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
I honestly am an economist by blood. I cannot take it out of my system. And it literally revolves around money supply and money demand, you know? And when I started my interior design journey, I felt like there was a lot more that I can do. I felt like I could leverage, you know, my knowledge and the space. I felt like I could take up space. You know, I felt like there isn't any me in my space, you know, in that space, in the interior design or property space. There isn't anybody that wants to do what I want to do or that can even possibly do what I want to do the way I want to do it. And as soon as I could figure out how exactly I wanted to make that money out of what I thought it was, that's what drew me to it. So it's I would definitely say it's number one, money, and number two, my goal, who I wanted to become and what I wanted to become and when I wanted to become that. So yeah, one, money, and two, my becoming, basically.
I love it. I love it. I love it how you say money and you say it so boldly. A lot of people like hiding behind a lot of stuff, but you know, but how did you find out that it has a lot of money? Because I mean, even economics is a lot of money, right? Or am I reaching when I'm saying that? Like I'm thinking money is even on the other side you could have made as much, if not more.
Yeah, you can honestly make money wherever you want to make money, you know. It's you, if you can, you should, wherever you want to. But for me, it was putting together what I can do and what I want to do, and um figuring out that process then made me realize that there is a lot more money than I thought could be as just an economist. Than if I was to combine being an economist and entering the property market, you know. In that way, I am a little bit ahead of somebody who didn't study economics and who doesn't know how the economy actually influences the property market. In that way, I am able to forecast situations, actually forecast the property market, and that is added value for me, you know? And yes, 100%, you can make money anywhere, anyhow, if you're able to add value to it. And that is exactly what I am sorting out to do, to add value to my space with what I am and what I can do and who I am and all of the knowledge that I've acquired to date. So for me, it's definitely being able to leverage what you know, the knowledge that you've acquired, and how you can add value to a space. I mean, I don't think you can take up space by just being anybody, you know? I mean, there's a million economists out here. I could easily just do that and just, you know, get paid what everybody else is getting paid. Or I could take what I know and put it into a space where it's not necessarily, you know, mainstream, and actually add some sort of value to it. I don't know if you get me, but it's basically adding value.
It makes sense that you want to add value. So, and I like how you said it's an added advantage when you mix the property with the knowledge of economics. And I'm like, wow, she's my friend. She got the juice. She's gonna help me. I'm like, wow, God, this is God speaking. This is God's doing, as DJ Khaled says. God did. I felt like,
yeah, exactly.
This is God's moment. So, but I want to ask you, you find yourself in a moment you're in a 9 to 5, right? And when you're in a 9 to 5, you then decide, flip, this 9 to 5 is not for me. What are the people around you saying? Because I mean, you went to varsity. And I, as a parent, I'm thinking, I forked out a lot of money all those years paying for you to go to school, making sure that you're nice. For you to only say, nah, I think I want to be an entrepreneur. And you studied economics. You can imagine, I would know my mother would be bragging. I mean, my kid went to school, she went to varsity. You know, as Black people, that's how it goes. How is your family taking you wanting to change? Because it's like, no, I think I want to be an interior designer now. I think I want to do property. And I don't even know the knowledge that they have, right? What is the conversation around that?
So I think I, for one, am extremely blessed to have the mother that I have. I don't think that there's ever been a moment where anything that I have learned or wanted to learn has been held over my head. I think she has been incredibly supportive in everything that I have done. And I think more than anything, it was also because when I did go to varsity, and I studied what I wanted to study, I was able to show her my discipline in what I wanted to do in that time. I was able to show her that this is what I want to do, and I am going to put my all into it. And in doing that, she then didn't have to pay a cent, because I then was able to get a full bursary. I was funded by a big company, and I was also funded by the school. So that for her, actually, I think it sort of, lifted weight off her shoulders, and the moment I kind of stepped away from my mainstream qualification, and I said, actually, I have a passion in 1, 2, 3. Honestly, it didn't start with interior design. I've started a couple of businesses before, and it didn't necessarily work out, and even then, even at that time, she was at the forefront of every single one of them. At one time, I was starting a makeup business, and a day after I told her, she came to come and visit me like a week later. And she brought me all of this makeup stuff, and she was like, if this is what you want to do, here, go and do it, and do it to the best of your ability, you know? And when I stopped doing that and I came to her and I was like, you know what, I think I want to do this, she was for that again, you know? And with every single time, she told me that every time you want to do something, every time you feel like you want to pursue something, I will support you. If you want to change your career 10 times in a month, then do so until you find something that is for you. And I think that that's the one thing that's kept me going, because support like that is almost like a boat, you know, you can't sink, you know, it keeps you floating. And she has guided me constantly in every single path that I've chosen. She has shown me that you are able to make mistakes, you are able to fail. It happens, you know, it happens. But the most important part is to always have a solution, always have the next step, always have a bigger picture. Where are you going from there? You know, regardless of what it is that you choose, regardless of whether today I'm a doctor or today I'm a real estate agent, what is the end goal? Where are you going? You know, and if you can see where you're going, if you can visualize where you're going, you don't stop going. You get what I'm saying? And that for me, I won't lie, I have never in my life experienced well, no, you can't do that conversation. Yeah, no, I don't think you would survive that journey type of conversation. Or but you studied this, and not even from anybody in my family, and I don't know that conversation, which I think I can take as a sort of privilege, because I've received support. Yes, I've received support from my family with everything that I've done, with every single failure that I've had, with every time that I'd have to get back up, with every time I'd have to like rebrand and reposition myself, all of it. So I would definitely say that the support that my mother and my family have given me are tenfold. I couldn't have asked for anything more than that.
Wow, shout out to your mom, man. And shout out to all the supportive moms out there, man. Really love, really appreciate you, you know. Those who are not supporting, we will get there. We are the new generation. We'll be the parents, I guess. I want to ask you, since you spoke about you've had a couple of businesses that have failed, right? What kept you going? Because I mean, business number one, a lot of people quit and are discouraged. You say you had a couple of businesses. I want to know in that process of, you know, I'm failing, I'm going, are you not thinking of quitting? What keeps you going? What says you make it just continue?
So yeah, one, I have started a couple, and a couple have definitely like gone to dust. Um, but I think the most important thing for me was why I'm doing it, and where I want to see myself. I think the why I'm doing it is like the most important part for me, because I have many reasons why I should quit, but for me the most important why is my end goal, you know. It's my journey and what I want to achieve from it, you know. It's seeing me actually reach the goals that I want to reach and do the things that I want to do. I have always wanted to create a culture, you know, that would support people like me, that would support young girls like me. I've always wanted to do that. And I've always thought that I don't think anybody could do that for me if it wasn't me. I don't think anybody could help me with that if it wasn't me. I need to be my own inspiration. I always felt like I always say this thing to myself that I have to be stronger than myself. I always have to be stronger than myself. And that means that even when I feel like I cannot do it anymore, I still do it. And I always say, even if you're afraid, do it with that fear, you know, regardless of whether you know how it will go or whether whatever it is that you're afraid of is there, do it with that fear, because the truth is that you don't know the outcome, but you can work towards the outcome, and if you stop, then you will never know what could have been the outcome. And that for me is not something that I can accept. It's not something that I'm willing to accept. So that's what's kept me going.
Two things. You spoke to two things. Why, which is purpose. Secondly, where you see yourself, which is vision, which are things that are always emphasized when it comes to business, that or a life, that your why will keep you going in adversity. And vision is important because vision, even if your reality says otherwise, but if you constantly see the dream, if you constantly see the picture, if you constantly live in your dreams, you will eventually get there. I loved it. And other things I've got to say, you are a very, very sharp woman. You're very smart. I can just pick it up even in the way that you speak.
Thank you so much.
I just had to throw that.
Thank you so much.
I had to just throw that in. Yeah.
Thank you. You're making me shy.
Really are. So I didn't need, but I wanted to ask, you spoke about women and doing it for the next girl, man. Why is it important for you to be inspirational to girls and for you to be that bigger sister, to be that person that you never had?
Because I want that. That's what I want. I want somebody to see me and say, look, this is how you do it. Is this what you want to do? Then do it. I want somebody to hold my hand and say, you can. You actually can. As a young Black South African woman, you actually can do whatever it is that you want to do, however you want to do it. I want somebody to have my back, I want to feel like I am falling and have somebody say, it's okay, you can get up. I wanna sleep at night knowing that, what, I can wake up and there's somebody that I can call and ask, okay, well, how do I do my marketing, or how do I get my product out there? I want to know that I will have somebody who has my back. And I think that is so important, because I feel like even to today, it's so difficult for me as a young Black woman to do what I'm doing. It is so difficult. And I really, really wish there were people that came before me, like me, that that are there to help me with whatever it is that I need, And I think it's important to lend a hand. I think it's so important because we can't reach where we're going if nobody is giving you a hand or a rope or a ladder or anything like that. Because the truth is that it's not as easy as that. You don't wake up and suddenly have the wings that you need to get where you're going, And I think that's one of the things that really, really kill the entrepreneurship in this country, is that we don't have support. And when I say support, I mean support in everything, including finances. And if we had that, if you had somebody that could tell you how to register your company, that could show you how to reach out to sponsorships or how to reach out to retail stores or how to get your product out there, if you had somebody who could help you with that, with any sort of information, then perhaps you wouldn't give up. Maybe you would still be going, you know? And that for me is so important. I think building a community of people that want to reach their goals is extremely important, because I feel like we're going into a time that is slowly but surely like a you know, a tap that's running out of water, because so many of us are studying and not even getting to the jobs that we studied for, you know, and then we remain unemployed with no option. You're unemployed for like 3 years as a graduate, you know, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous. So yes, for me, it's about getting there. It's about helping somebody else to get there.
You know, you touch on a lot of points that I, as an individual and as under construction, are trying to speak to. Because for me, the whole vision that I have even for this is to be that for everyone, to be the plug. You know, for me, I don't have to, because I've seen how, you know, people will prioritize their family, or it's about their friends only. For me, I know, because I grew up, you know, I always say this. There was a time I was sent to the rural areas, you know, you can go from this Model C. At that time, they called them multiracial schools. And the only thing I could speak was English. And they sent me to the rural areas. I didn't understand. They said they wanted me to learn my mother tongue, which eventually I did. But now it makes sense why I went there, because now I know the experiences. My purpose right now, one of my purposes is to go there and be the plug and be the bridge, you know, for them to say, if I come to town, I can help them, you know, for the young kids who are there, because they're very disadvantaged. And for me, everything that I build, including under construction, speaks to the kids that are in the rural area and the township, and people who, you know, want to become something, want to build businesses, want to become creatives, but they don't know how to go about it. I'm just going to do it for free and say, you know what, here's the plug, go there, do this, do that. Let's help you do this. Let's help you build this. Because the same way, like you, I never had anyone to help me. I never had anyone to say, go for it. I never had anyone put me on, right? And I know the importance of a cosign, because I'm someone who's into hip hop, and as well, even in business, networking is very important. It's about who you know. And if you see next to so and so in hip hop, the cosign Vini is with Ricky, which opens up a lot of doors because you're working with Ricky, right? So because I didn't have that thing, I also sort of want to be that bigger brother. And I relate so much to what you are saying. And I think it's very important that we really help those we can. And I think that's, for me, it's legacy, you know, speak even beyond, you know. For me, I love this quote that says, because I'm a Christian, Miles Monroe would say, Jesus never invested in businesses, he invested in people. And I'm like, flip, the greatest return, if you invest in people as well, at some point it's going to come back to you, right? So yeah, I think, yeah, so you spoke to my passion. I'm sorry, I just had to go into that. So let's go into, because you do so much, right? Let's go into Pride on a Mental. How does it start? What's the conversation? Where does it all begin?
So Pride on the Mental started while I was working. I was working at an insurance company at the time. And I remember I was kind of like, you know, going through my phone, and I was looking at like, you know, random things, you know, and I was kind of looking at my phone, and I just kind of realized that, you know what, I have this really strong desire to pursue interior design, because it's in everything that I do, you know. I am literally designing every single thing that I do. My existence is designing, you know. And I started to think about how I could do it. And it wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy because I honestly at the time didn't know what I was thinking. But I knew what I wanted it to be like. So I think the first thing I did was imagine like the type of company I would run, how I would want my operations to go and how I would want the company culture to be, and the type of people I wanted to employ. And that was the first thing I started thinking about, because I was absorbing so many things in the company that I was in, and I knew everything that I didn't want, and I knew everything that I wanted, and that was the first thing that came to mind. The second thing that came to mind is, what exactly would I do? Since as an individual, currently I have no idea what happens in the interior design space, and I started with the simplest thing ever, with items, with products. I started with the retail store that I have, with Pride Ornamental. And I started doing things like research, finding out what was going on in the industry, what was happening, how do I learn, where do I learn, what do I do? And as soon as I started doing that, things kind of started falling into place. I started, figuring things out one at a time. And to be quite honest, I went head in first. I didn't think about where I would be, what I would be. I didn't think about a lot of things. I just said, you know what, I'm going to do this, and then I will figure it out along the way, because I genuinely do not believe that anybody who starts a business knows what they're doing. I think we learn business along the way. Even though you have studied it in theory, the practical is absolutely not that. I always say that business doesn't operate in real time. I don't even think it operates in the same realm of reality as we do, because you have to do things in the craziest amount of hours. You have to be tired and still be doing it. You have to create all of these things and come up with all of these things in your head that you have to then make exist for people, You then have to find a way to communicate that in a way that everybody will understand, that everybody that you want to reach will understand. You have to do all of these things. And I can promise you cannot learn that from a textbook, So that's how it started. And I just went for it, and I loved it, and I still love it.
You're dropping a lot of gems. Like you really, I'm thinking, you spoke about, you start off with imagination. That's the first thing I picked up when you speak, because everything that we see, the phones that we're using, everything that we see was started with imagination. It's just an idea. And it's crazy every time I think about it, that, my ideas are valid, and you bringing me back to that point. And I like the fact that you then decided, you know what, I'm going to go into this. I don't know anything about it. You did your research. You worked towards it. And your story is amazing. And the focus, the way you would and put everything, the process in J, it looks so, for me, it looks so perfect. It's like a masterclass. It's something that I would hear at a seminar, when someone say, we must imagine why, vision, because you speak, I'm telling you, you might not say the way they say it, but you are touching on those points that they speak about. Like it's like a whole, for me, it's like a whole masterclass that we're having here. And I really, really love your story, and I really, really love the trajectory and the journey and the work. And it's for me, and I hope for everyone that's watching, it's adding value to you, and you're gonna take this and use it practically in your life, because this is what it's all about. And as well, don't forget, guys, subscribe, like, and share it with people that will benefit from this, because we're all about education. We're all about helping people from different industries build their careers, build their journeys in terms of maybe entrepreneurial journey. So it's cool, but you understand.
I love that. Yeah.
Exist as part ornamental, and if I'm watching, someone is interested, why should they choose you, or why should I choose you?
Because one, I am amazing at what I do. But most of all, there's a story behind Proud Ornamental, and there is a very important story at that. And I think it's a story that we can all relate to. I think I would like to think in every home, when we grew up, you had your mother or your grandmother have all these nice items in the house, the little, like, the little dogs and the little cats and the little, brass items, and the couches would always be covered in like plastic, and you'd have the plates that would only come out in certain times. For me, growing up, that kind of showed me that design has always been there. It's always been there. And for us, like previously disadvantaged individuals, it has been a problem of access, thinking that we, don't deserve it. I guess we can't afford it. We don't know where to access it. And to be able to access formal interior design, and knowing that we actually can live in spaces that we want to, the type of spaces that you can only dream of, the type of spaces that you only see in magazines, to know that you can actually have that for yourself, and you don't need to necessarily break the bank, and to have somebody that can do that for you, I think is more than important, because we haven't had that. I am entering an industry where it's dominated by mainly Caucasian elderly people, and I can tell you now, it is very difficult to enter the market, because they're already there. They have made their point. They have laid down the footprint. They have given us an idea of what it is and who can access it and who can't, and who should and who should not. And I personally feel like that's unfair, because I love beautiful spaces and I want to have it. It's something that I want to see myself and my family have. I also want to see other people have it. I want every Black person to be able to walk into their home and feel like this should be on top billing. This is my home. And I want to give that to people. I want to give people the pride that comes with having a beautiful space. I want to give them the comfort and the luxury that they want, the comfort and the luxury that they see in magazines and in newspapers and on TV. I want to give it to them. And I want to give it to them in a way that makes them comfortable as well, in a way that makes them feel like that they are actually considered. And it has taken me a long time to kind of figure out how to even try and access the market, how to even try and get to my target market, how to even communicate that to them, that I want to give this to you. But I think it's all in the work, it's all in the work, it's all in the brand positioning, it's all in the image, it's all in the brand communication, and telling people your story, giving them an idea of who you are and what you stand for and what you're trying to put out there. I don't think that what I do is something that is, very popular. I don't think a lot of people do it. But I also believe it's because it's something that we as Black people kind of feel like we don't know, we don't necessarily explore it, we don't think that we need it. We feel like we shouldn't want it because we feel like it could be like an unnecessary expense. But the truth is that there's so much that goes into our space. Our homes, our spaces in general are where we literally form. Everything happens there. You sleep there, you think there, you work there. Any idea that you can get or any idea that you want to bring into existence happens there, you know? And you need a space that can help you cultivate that. You need a space that can, you know, allow you to, you know, emancipate the ideas and everything that you want to do. And if you're, you know, in a space that doesn't motivate you, that doesn't make you feel at home, you kind of don't have the motivation, you know? So I think for me, my story and why I want to do it and what I want to give to people is important. And that is exactly why I would think that people should choose me or should choose my company to work with, because I have a story and I have something that I want to give. I do not only want to take or make out of the situation, but I want to give something to my community, people that are like me, people that understand me and what I am for.
Wow, I love I feel like, and you didn't prepare for this, right? I know because I didn't send you questions, but you articulate yourself so well. Your story is clear, like everything about you, like it's like it's positioned. It's well rehearsed, but I know it's not because it's something that's in your heart. You thought about it. It's something that you live. It's something that you're passionate about, and it really comes across. And I like the way your story, when it comes to you starting with you as an individual and your journey, and coming into the company, it all correlates and just connects and makes sense. And I just know you telling your story, man, a lot of people are gonna connect with it, and I'm really, really, really sold. But even speaking about money, I saw you the other day. Uh, you were you had Egyptian cotton. I'm like, hey, that's from what I know, and I know I was introduced to Egyptian cotton by Casper. I'm a hip hop guy. I didn't even know anything. And you are right when you say we really don't care about interior designers, black people. We think we don't deserve it. We are formally disadvantaged. I think it comes with apartheid and what happened. And like you say, I like your story you articulated. It's always been there. And I like you said you want people to take pride. I was like, flip pride on the mental. I'm like, yo, everything makes sense, right? But your story is well articulated. It's amazing. I can never overemphasize the fact that you are a very sharp person. You're very wise, even the way you're very intentional. Uh, if I didn't know, I'd think, yo, you have people behind you. But like you said, you grew up not having anyone. You are still figuring it out. And man, I wish you all the best, even though we're not at the end. But I want to ask you, since you're speaking about being an entrepreneur, what does being an entrepreneur mean to you?
To me, it means giving birth to something. Giving birth to something that you not only love, but that you breathe, you know. You have to be brave to be an entrepreneur. You have to know how to fight to be an entrepreneur, you know, because you take a lot of beating, you take a lot of challenges and hardships, you take a lot of no's, you take a lot of I don't need that, you know, and you need to know how to stand your ground. So I would say, to me, it is definitely giving birth to something. It's like giving birth to a person. You know that you have to stick by them. You are willing to stick by them no matter what, and ensure that you're feeding them no matter what. Ensure that you're raising them. Ensure that you're allowing them space to grow, giving them what they need to grow, and ensuring that they have the resources, that they have the exposure that they need to grow. So I would definitely say that for me, it's giving birth to life, you know, and that life has to be something that is personal to you in order for you to be able to feed into it. Because nobody cares about anything that is not theirs. Nobody cares about a brand that they did not birth, you know. You can be anyone in the world, and you still would not tell the story that I have for pride, you know. You could be the best entrepreneur in the world. You could be a serial entrepreneur for all I care, but you wouldn't be able to tell my story because I am the person who birthed it. I know what it is. I know what I want it to become. I know what I can allow it to become. I know how to make it grow, you know? And to do that, I need to be a parent. I need to be my business's parent. And for me, that's exactly what entrepreneurship is.
Love the analogy of giving birth, giving space, feeding, letting it grow. Like, it's a perfect example. And that's what you said entrepreneurship means to you. It's a great analogy that you made there. Like I said, for me, you're very sharp, bro. You're very, very sharp. You're very, very sharp. I have to say that. I don't care who says what. If I'm repeating it, guys, she's a very sharp person. So we reached the end part of Under Construction SA. Before the final question, this is the question that I love. This is what makes Under Construction be Under Construction. If you had a song to describe your life at this moment, at this point where you are today, what song would it be? And please sing the chorus for us.
Whoa! I cannot sing.
Exactly. Everyone reacts the same.
I cannot sing.
It's like you guys come from.
I can't sing to save my life.
The same family. I know it's not about you not being able to sing. It's fine. Whatever voice you have.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
And you want to publicize this.
I don't is watching.
Oh my God. Okay, I have a song. I definitely have a song. I just need to remember the name. Hold on. One moment. I have the perfect song. Whoa. I sing it every day. Okay, no, I don't sing it.
You're trying to run away. You sing it every day. I love the fact that you mentioned that.
In the car and in the shower. That's literally the only time. Okay, hold on one moment. It's definitely not a piano song.
I was just punching this song that's been in my mind. It's not that I'm saying, but it's I think Luxury SA. It's a song. So that's why I was doing this.
So my song is Beyonce, Be Alive. That is my song.
Let's go.
I can't sing it, but it says something like, nobody can stop us if they tried. This is hustle personified. And look how we've been grinding to stay alive. We're here now and we're not gonna leave. I love that song. It's amazing. That's the song from the King Richard movie, if you've seen it. The one with Serena Williams and Venus.
Oh, I haven't watched it. You know, it's on Netflix, right?
I think it is now. I'm not sure, but I watched it. It was released.
I've seen people speak about it, and I said I'm gonna make time. I forgot completely because I'm not a movie person. So
you know what? You should.
I think I need to because I resonate with the lyrics and what they're trying to say.
Love it.
What final question is really part as we end the show. Number one, what is your message to the world, to South Africa? Secondly, what should we expect from Reabetswe?
My message to the world and anybody who wants to find any sort of inspiration from this conversation is that do it. Do it regardless of what you think or what you fear or what you think you might not be able to achieve. Do it regardless. Because the truth is that you don't know what your path is, but if you do not make a decision, you will never know. And for me, that is honestly the only failure you could have in life, not following your dreams or not going for what you want to do. That for me is the only way you can fail yourself. Other than that, always go for what you want. Do it to the best of your ability. Put 100% of yourself in everything so that you know, even every time you fall, you know that you did everything that you could, and you can go back again and do it again. And at some point, you will score. The world is not made of one straight line. You will score at some point. Trust and believe. And from me, you can expect a lot of big things. I am working on partnerships and collaborations. I am looking into eventually even, televising what I do, and bringing something new to the South African market. I think people deserve to see what is out there and what can be done. I think we're all tired of the same things. So I hope that I can bring a little spark to young entrepreneurs like me, and a lot of products. I'm releasing a lot of new items with Pride Ornamental, and working on a lot of new projects with Pride Home. Another very important thing for me is my foundation. I am starting my foundation, and it's going to focus mainly on giving back. More than giving back, it's lending a helping hand, like I said, to people who want to do anything in the world. It's giving them information, giving them resources, giving them a hand on anything that they want to do, and showing them how they could possibly be whatever it is that they want to be. And for me, that is the most important part of it. So if anything, just look out for my foundation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing episode of the Reabetswe. And before I leave, I have to say this. When we're starting the recording, there's a guy who helps us with the recording. His name is DK. We had a glitch in the beginning. After you left Reabetswe, DK was like, who is this girl? What's her Instagram? And he started searching. And I'm saying this to say that not only is she beautiful, guys, she is also someone that's very, very wise. And like she said, as we're about to depart, follow your dreams, pursue them with all you want. We've heard her story from becoming an economist and turning that into property and using that background to add value. Also starting an interior designing company, Pride Ornamental. This has been an amazing episode of the Reabetswe. Thank you for coming through. We love what you're doing. I don't even have to say anything. I think you have all the right pillars, all the right things for success. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen. I'm a Christian. I almost said I look forward to seeing what God's going to do through your life.
I look forward to it too. I look forward to all of God's touches in my life. Nothing matters more, So I definitely thank you for that. I definitely received that.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because
I think
yeah.
I have just like one last thing to say with regards to my handle. My handle is my name and my surname, but I wouldn't like recommend you to follow my personal page because it's kind of personal, you know. But you can follow my business page, which is Pride Ornamental, and my property page, which is it's property_Ray. Yeah, property Ray.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, I've got you covered. You have me. I brought onto the platform. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take all the handles. I'm gonna put it in the description. So you don't have to go and search. Just click on the link. Voila. I just put, I don't know if she wants me to put her personal things, but I think because of what she said, I'll probably put her business links only, and then you can go right over there. She doesn't want you to be in a personal life, but because I got you, see you, so got you. So I'm gonna put it there in the description bar. But ladies and gentlemen, for those who are the first time tuning in, don't forget. Don't forget. Next week Friday, English score every Sunday, 5 p.m. Under Construction SA. We here. It's been an amazing episode. Thank you for watching. We out.